Okay, I'm back. So you might say 4 good days out of 5 is a good week. If he had a good week, he gets a reward on the weekend. Never use money, never use expensive gifts. He needs time. So rewards for your son, let's go to the movies. Rewards for your son, we're going to the African American Museum. We're going to go to the James Fortin exhibit down at the American Revolutionary Museum. We're going to go to the zoo. We're going to drive down to Baltimore and go to the Great Blacks and Wax. You know, take him. He needs activity. He don't need toys and money.
Right, that's what I do with him.
Yeah, he needs the activity.
What about discipline? Like
That's what I'm saying. That chart. Okay, so that's the reward for the discipline. He gets a consequence every day he had a bad day. Every day.
I don't care about tablets getting taken and stuff like that.
No. That don't work. That's not going to work. For him, his punishments will have to be activities. In other words, you're cleaning up the block. You're going to go clean up. You might have an elder on your block who needs somebody to go to the store for him or clean out their basement. He may have to volunteer at the whole old folks home, the shelter, the hospital. You know, you want to find things he can do that you know he don't want to do. And those are his punishments. At his age, activities are punishments. You feel me?
Okay, yeah.
Sending him to the room, taking his phone, that's not going to do nothing.
Nope, it don't.
At his age, he needs activities that he does not want to do. That's how you punish him at his age.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Now, let me get back to this IEP for a minute.
Yeah.
Did you give me the disability?
ADHD, they're trying to diagnose him with ADHD.
No. Don't get him. Wait, does he have an IEP right now?
Yes.
What is it for? It can't be for ADHD if he's not diagnosed with it yet. So what is the current IEP for?
Well, he doesn't have one. He just has the
Okay, so he doesn't have an IEP, correct?
For a 504, that's what it is. A 504.
Okay, he has neither, correct?
He has a 504. He has an aide that's in the classroom with
Okay,
him.
if he got a 504, he got a 504 for what disability? What's the disabling condition?
I don't even understand how he has.
You got to have a disabling condition to get a 504. Do you have the 504 plan?
I don't have it with me right now. I'm not currently in the house.
Oh, I got you. But you need to pull it out and see what disability is listed on there.
Okay.
Now, if they gave him an 8, we ain't going to fight against that. But I do want to know what disability they gave him the 504 for. And as far as the ADHD,
Yeah.
as far as the ADHD go, you don't want him tested for that. All they're going to do is medicate your son. You don't want, he got enough problems as it is.
And he has to be medicated because I'm going to get
If you get him an ADHD diagnosis, they're going to force drugs on you. They're going to call DHS on you. And they're going to threaten you to take your children if you don't drug your son. If you don't plan on doping him up, do not get an ADHD eval. It's that simple. I've been telling parents this for 25 years. They do not listen. The diagnosis is the leverage the school needs to force the medication. If you don't want to drug your child, do not get the ADHD evaluation or an ODD evaluation or a conduct disorder eval. If you get any of those, they're going to push the drugs.
If they're trying to pressure me into getting him evaluated,
They can't pressure you because all you got to do is write a letter and say, I'm not getting him evaluated for ADHD because he's not. Now, let me tell you what you should do.
Okay.
Let's go back. You said he'd been through some things early in life. Without going into it, was this sex abuse? What was it?
No, it was mainly my mother. My mother is like, we're from West Philadelphia. And my
So
mom.
what did she do? Was it emotional abuse? What did he go through? Because you kept mentioning
Emotional, making false allegations so that she can get the kids and like basically use them for welfare benefits and stuff like that.
Okay, let me say this. Your son need therapy.
Exactly. That's
You need to get him a therapist, and if you don't have one, text me tonight. Don't text me now because I'm gonna look at the text and I'm gonna forget to hit you back. Text me tonight or tomorrow. I will text you the number for the Association of Black Psychologists here in the Philadelphia area, and they will set him up with a counselor because he got some anger issues he's going through. That's why he's bullying the other kids, because he's angry. And the anger is coming from the family situation. He got a daddy not spending consistent time, and he got a stepdaddy who ain't really spending consistent time either.
His dad spends time. It's just like he's not responsible. That's what the issue is. Like, he's not being consistent or responsible. He spends time with him, but it's like...
Right, it's inconsistent.
Himself together, so it's not like a real dad.
Exactly. But my point is, he needs the counseling to work through his anger.
Right.
But if the two fathers don't start spending time with this boy in a consistent, valuable way, I don't care how much counseling he gets, it's not going to stop.
Right.
But the other thing, too, is you can have the counselor write a letter saying that your son's behavior is due to emotional issues involving family dynamics or whatever the case may be. He's currently being seen for therapy. Please be patient with the young man. That will slow the school down. And that also eliminates ADHD, because you got a letter from the therapist that just said, this ain't ADHD. This is anger from family dynamics. You see how that works?
Right.
So when you do get the therapy, ask them for a letter to give to the school to let them know that they're counseling him and that they believe the issue is XYZ, not ADHD.
Okay.
You feel me?
7 p.m. fine for the calling?
Yeah, when you text me, you say 7 is fine.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Queen, keep me posted.
I will.
All right now. Let me say this before I take the next parent. And I know my beautiful African queens are not going to want to hear this. I know my beautiful African queens are not going to want to hear this. I know my beautiful African queens are not going to want to hear this. But this is one of the reasons why. Now, she's married, so I'm not necessarily speaking of her. The previous caller also has a husband, but he's away from home. This is one of the reasons why. You're going to have to consider some polygyny in the black community. You need fathers with these children. I'm telling you, I know y'all don't want to hear it, ladies. The mothers, y'all can't do this on your own. And you shouldn't have to. And you shouldn't have to. But in homes with mothers with multiple boys, we are not going to fix our community if we do not put fathers on these boys. I'm just going to say it. You're going to have to do some kind of polygyny some way, because we are losing. Let's go to the next person. Two 215-989-9858. Text your name and your city. 215-989-9858. Brother Antonio, how's Cincinnati treating you?
Hey, how you doing, Doc? It's okay.
I'm well. Go right ahead with your question.
So my question is, my 4-year-old son just got evaluated about his school, and they want to say that he has ADHD.
Well, he wasn't evaluated by the school for ADHD. He was evaluated by the hospital or clinic. Schools don't evaluate for ADHD.
Yeah, they said that one of the doctors, I told him I don't agree with it, but they said that they think he has ADHD because he was called by, he sometimes go to daycare, and they said, well, he just has a problem. They said he likes to talk. He asks a lot of questions. So they said they think that he has ADHD. And then, and I told them that I don't agree with that. So we're supposed to go have him get checked and see if they want to diagnose him or try to medicate him.
I wouldn't do it. He's in preschool?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't do it. I would not take my son to get evaluated for ADHD at 4. I wouldn't take him to get evaluated for ADHD at 14. Because the only solution a white man has for ADHD is drugs. If y'all don't plan on giving that boy drugs, I don't know why we looking for a label.
Okay.
The only thing America has for ADHD is pills. That's it. Adderall, Concerta, Cyclert, Ritalin. All they have is dope. So if we don't plan on doping him up, there's no need for an ADHD evaluation. You get that evaluation and the school finds out. I guess he's in preschool, right?
Yes.
They can make anonymous complaint against y'all with child services, and child services will threaten you with medical neglect and take your kids. I would not be taking him there, and I definitely wouldn't be letting no preschool tell me to take him there. I wouldn't be doing it. Nothing good is going to come from it for your son.
Okay. And then I got 2 daughters. They're in the 3rd, the 4th grade. So my 4th grader, she's into her 2nd year of schooling. And
what do you mean your 4th grader is in her 2nd year of schooling? What, she was homeschooled or something?
No, she's in her 2nd year at this school. She's at a new school.
Okay.
So she's in her second year at this new school that she's in, and they were at I guess the school that she was in. Because how to put this, I finally got joint custody of my daughters. It took a lot of time, a lot of money. Now I finally have joint custody, so I put them in a better school that they're in. And the school that they're in now, on my fourth grader, is saying that, hey, he would like to evaluate her for an IEP. This is also something that I stated that I don't want to do. I said because she doesn't have a problem learning, because at home I do a lot of home learning at home. We had an issue with the home learning as far as when I say correlating with the school, there's a difference because they try to teach them about being black, homosexuality, and I had met with the principal of the school. I said, I don't want you to teach my daughters about anything about sexuality. So I had to meet with them about that, and then they had to try to state that it was something that they had as a curriculum they had to do. And I said, I don't want that being taught. So on those days when things are taught, because they got books about it, she brought a book home, and I said, I don't want this stuff to be taught to my child. So we had that issue. So they said that they feel like that she may need an IEP because there are some levels that she may be on a second grade level.
And she's in the fourth grade?
She's in the fourth grade. They said a level she may be in the fourth grade. She's in a third grade level on some stuff.
Well, you know, okay. A child who's in the fourth grade, who has a second or third grade level, that can be corrected with tutoring. All you have to do is get her a tutor. She don't need no damn special ed. I would not get my child no IEP because they're 1 or 2 grades behind. You can close that in 6 weeks. That gap can be closed in 6 weeks. What you should do is get a tutor. I would find a retired teacher or a college student or a high school student, okay, and have them come and work with your daughter 2 or 3 days a week for only an hour. All she needs is 2 or 3 days a week, an hour each. That's all she needs. You could close that gap on your own. And I would tell them that. I'm getting my daughter tutoring. She's not getting an IEP. Furthermore, the law even recommends that before you consider special ed, that the child receives some sort of evidence-based interventions. So you can tell them, y'all didn't even consider an intervention for my daughter, so I'm going to consider the intervention, and she's going to get tutoring. And I'm going to see how she responds to tutoring between now and the end of the school year. She's not getting tested for special ed. That's how I would deal with it.
Okay, yeah, because this is the second time, because I do the PTA meetings, and they had a conversation. They said, well, on her comprehension, she's at a third grade level. And I said, well, she just started the fourth grade not so long ago, so that would be kind of normal. And then she said in math, she's still in second grade levels and certain levels in her math. And so they said, we think that we strongly suggest that we need to look into an IEP plan. And that's not something that I want to do. And they said, well, this is the second time that we're bringing it up, and we strongly consider this. And then, so they want to have a meeting on the once we come back from winter break about this plan. And that's not something that I want to be done.
Then I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
The power is with you. You just tell them. My child's supposed to get interventions before we consider special ed. Y'all haven't mentioned any interventions. I'm going to get her a tutor. Where's the Title I money? Because you know the schools get Title I money, right? So you should ask them, where's the Title I money to pay for a tutor? You're going to get your own tutor. But if she could get some tutoring in the school, she should get that too. So you should ask them, where's the Title I funding to get my daughter a tutor? Why are we talking about special ed? We should be talking about tutoring.
I didn't know anything about that.
Yes, sir. If the school is in an economically challenged neighborhood, they get in Title I money.
No. Oh, okay. So,
now, if you're in a suburban school, they might not get Title I money in a suburban school. But if it's an inner city school, they get in Title I money.
Okay. So it's something I need to look into then.
Yeah. So you need to get a tutor, and you need to make them get her a tutor through the Title I funds.
Okay.
But don't do that ADHD testing, bro. I'm telling you. Take it from me. I've been doing this 25 years. Don't do it.
Yeah, see, because when I look at him, my son, like, he's just, to me, he's a normal kid. Because when I sit down and I have him learn, he's fine. But they say that he's just too hyper. They said that he doesn't focus. And I say, well, if I sit him down in a video game that's interactive, he's okay with that. And for them to say that, hey, we need to have this looked at, I said I don't want to do that because I don't want him to be like a zombie. That's my biggest thing. I looked at the effects of taking ADHD medication, and that's not something that I want for him long term.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that, my brother. So keep me posted. But with your daughter, get the tutoring. With your son, if they're complaining about, he's in a preschool though, right?
He's in preschool.
You might got to switch that preschool. I don't know. If they keep on complaining, bro, you might got to switch it because they might just got a bunch of lazy teachers in there who want the boys to act like girls. I'm not feeling them too much.
They're all in the same because they all go to the same. So he's in the preschool. They're in the middle school, or the elementary school, and they're all in the same. So that's where the issue came in when I talked to them about, because they came to me about my daughters about they start teaching the sexuality, and then they had this whole argument because they were telling me that as far as children, we have to be mindful them choosing genders, this is like my first time really hearing anything about allowing a kid to choose their gender. I never heard anything about this, and I said I don't play any of that.
Right.
So they would say, well, because he came to me and he said, Daddy, my teacher called me a girl today. And I said, what are you talking about? They said that they kept referring to him as girl, and then sometimes they would call him, and he didn't understand it, and I didn't know what was going on. So that's when I came and communicated with them. I said, why is he being called girl? And then they told me that it's a gender identity that he has to be able to understand the difference of what gender he would like to be.
Yeah, that gender thing is off the hook. That has to be changed by organized parents, though. You can't do it yourself. It has to be changed by organized parents. Now, the one strategy that I would try is I would write a letter to the principal and say it conflicts with your religious beliefs. Freedom of religion. You have freedom of religion, so they cannot, impose anything on your child that contradicts the religion. Of course, their pushback is going to be it's a civil right. And since it's a civil right, you can't opt out. It's like white people saying black people are against their religion. They would tell white folks, black people have a constitutional right to, have their children in this school. So your religion can no longer be a defense to deny someone, a constitutional right. But that's what I would try. I would try the religious. Otherwise, since you were part of the home and school association, the parents got to get organized and get on the school board meeting. Get on that agenda to talk against the LGBT thing. But the problem is black people let Barack Obama do this, and we didn't say nothing about it. So it's our fault collectively, not you individually, because you didn't support it. I didn't support it. But when Barack Obama went into the schools and started pushing this agenda, the black community did nothing about it. We let Barack Obama have his way with our kids. And now we got a problem with it. But when Barack Obama was doing it, ain't nobody say a single word about it. So we also got to take responsibility for this.
Yeah, and I think that's where even following you more and get more understanding your viewpoints of how things are. It puts a lot of stuff, even teaching about the importance of history to my children, because the only history that they believe for us is that we were all slaves.
Right, but see, my argument to that. Sorry to cut you off. My argument to that, black people should be teaching, and when I say black people, I mean us systemically and collectively. We should be teaching our own kids their history. Like, I have zero interest in a white woman teaching black girls about her ancestors and her history. I have zero interest in a white man teaching black boys about their ancestors. Black history should be taught by the black community. We got more than enough people skilled in it. We got more than enough PhDs of African studies. The problem is they all hustlers and they want to get paid. That's the problem. Nobody wants to volunteer to help the children. That's really the issue. All of this comes down to one fact. Most black people are not interested in volunteering their time or donating their money to improve our children's lives. That's the bottom line to all of this. It's a shame. But that's where we are.
Indeed. Yeah. So I really appreciate that. So I definitely won't get him tested for the ADHD. And I'll definitely go and look into get my daughter tutored. And I'll look into the title. You said the Title I funding?
Title I money. I would tell the principal, don't y'all get Title I money? Why can't y'all get my daughter a tutor through the Title I funding, especially since the federal government recommends children get interventions before we consider special ed? I haven't heard anything about any interventions. All I heard was an evaluation. Where the interventions at for my daughter? That's exactly what I would say. And I will put it in a letter, bro. You got to get into the writing letters, because when you don't write the letters, you have no proof of your arguments. So make sure you put it on paper.
Okay.
Got you.
Do you mind if I send you the letter so that we can proof?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, perfect.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem, brother. Keep me posted.
I will.
Okay, King. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Umar. How
Sister
you doing?
Stephanie, how you doing? How's South Dakota treating you?
I'm gonna say fair because we don't have no snow.
I got you. What city you in out there?
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls. How far are you from Omaha?
2 hours. I'll see you there.
Okay, I'm gonna be in Omaha in a second.
Yeah, I already got the hotel room.
Got you. Go ahead and tell me what's going on.
Okay, so at the beginning, 2 weeks before school started, the school called, the principal called. She wanted to meet my son, and I'm pretty sure it's from the records of his previous schools. But she asked me, or she told me about his reading, said his reading was a little low, and they wanted to put him in reading development classes. So I told her, no, don't put him in no reading development classes. I'll read with him at home, and I'll let you know.
Now, what is this reading development class? Is this IEP? Is this special ed? Or is this something that they do in regular ed as an intervention? Because if it's a regular ed intervention, I'm not against it as long as he's not being pulled out of the regular reading class for his grade. What grade is he in?
He's in 6th grade.
Okay, so as long as he's still getting his, if they tell me that the reading development class is an intervention and not a replacement for his reading class, I don't have a problem with it.
But here's the thing.
Is it special ed? Like, what umbrella is this program falling under? Is this a regular ed intervention? Is this a special ed thing?
Well, she didn't specify. So let's fast forward to last week. His counselor called me, and she was looking at, I guess, his records. She said she don't know why he's in reading development classes because his scores are good. She told me specifically, if you repeat this, I will deny it. So I'm like, okay. Immediately I went home, documented it. They don't want to take him out of the reading development classes. And the reason we was trying to take him out of band and put him in one of the more computer technology classes or something that has a credit to it. Well, they told me he couldn't be in that class because he's in reading development classes. The classes that I told them specifically not to put him in. So the day that she told me he needed to be in that class, I had him reading to me. This was 2 weeks before summer ended. I had him reading to me. My son reads fine. He doesn't do any stuttering. Like maybe a couple of big words he may, stutter over. But as far as reading, he reads fine. So that just confirmed what his counselor told me. But I don't know what to do in a situation where she's telling me his scores are fine, but they're going to keep him in that class. So I've been emailing them back and forth, telling them, no, that's not acceptable. So they tell me because the semester has already started, they're going to just put him in ISS, which is in school suspension, until the semester's over, and then they'll let him take whatever class. I said, no. Why?
Wait. The suspension come from what? Where the in-school suspension coming from?
Just to put him in there to get him out of band. And I told them
to get him out of band?
Yes, because I told them, no, I want him out of the reading development classes. They're saying they can't put him, okay, 2 classes. First of all, I didn't know he was in reading development because we had already discussed that at the beginning of the year. I told them, don't put him in there. So when I brought up the question about taking him out of band, she said we can't put him in another class for 2 reasons. One, he's
okay, by band, you mean music band?
Yes.
Why you want him out of that?
Because he don't want to be in there, and I would rather have him in a class that he's actually getting some kind of skill. Like
I got you. So instead of the band, you're asking for what?
Computer technology.
And what they say?
They're saying because he's in reading development class, he can't be in none of those classes.
Okay, why is he in reading development?
Because that's where the principal and the vice principal put him.
And you were never aware of it?
I was never.
And what grade is he in again?
6.
Does he have reading trouble?
No.
Does he have an IEP?
No.
Okay, then this is what you got to do. You got to write a letter to the superintendent. Have you done that yet?
No.
You got to write a letter to the superintendent that they put my child in reading development class without my knowledge, and without my permission. And as a result of that, he's being denied the opportunity to participate in another class that he and I want him to be in. You got to write to the superintendent.
Okay.
And I would carbon copy the chair of the school board.
The chair of the school board?
Yes. The chair of the school board. The school board is the superintendent's boss. So the letter goes to the superintendent. You're going to carbon copy the chair of the school board. And you don't know why he's in reading development? They still haven't told you why?
Well, when they called me before school started, she said he was a little behind in reading. And I knew that wasn't true because I've been getting progress on his reading throughout, 4th, 5th, and now 6th grade. So, again, when I talked to his counselor, she said, if you repeat this, I'll deny it. But looking at his scores, he doesn't need to be in the reading development class. So she told me she'll call me back. She never called me back, but she got with the counselor or the principal. They made a decision that it would be best for him to stay in that class. And I, again, said no. Through email, I told them no, not acceptable. And so that's when they opted to put him in. Well, we'll just put him in ISS, in school suspension, just to be in that class. He won't be counted for it. So when I told him no about that, he called me on yesterday and day before yesterday and told me, for the past couple weeks, your son has been doing this, he's been doing that, so he's got 2 days of ISS. So I told him, this is what y'all gonna do because of the email that I sent. They're basically doing it because I don't want him in there. If he been acting up for 2 weeks, why you just now telling me this?
I feel you. So they're also trying to entrap him as a result of you requesting that he leave the band and go to the other class. I will put that in my letter too. If you need me to read the letter before you send it in, let me know.
Okay.
But it's time for the letter. It's time for the letter. They can't do that.
Okay. Well, I'll try to get more information from you on the 2nd, but I'm going to get started with what you gave me now, and I appreciate that.
Got you. All right, Queen. Keep me posted, and I'll see you on the 2nd.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Queen. No problem. Norwood, Massachusetts. You will have a chance to get this book on Thursday. If you live in Massachusetts, I will be in Norwood before we go to the next parent. If you live in Massachusetts, I will be in Norwood on Thursday, November the 30th. Norwood, Massachusetts, November the 30th. We will be at 884 Washington Street. 884 Washington Street in Norwood, Massachusetts. 6 until 9. Doors open up at 5 in Norwood, Massachusetts. Next Thursday, November 30th. Omaha, Nebraska, you'll get a chance to get this book for the first time. Saturday, December the 2nd for Omaha, Nebraska. We will be at 4224 North 24th Street in Omaha. 4224 North 24th Street in Omaha. Saturday, December the 2nd. Doors open up at 3. Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. You will get a chance to get this book. My Kansas City Africans, my Missouri Africans, my Kansas Africans. I'll see you on Sunday, December the 3rd. Doors open up at 3 o'clock at the Gym Theater, 1615 East 18th Street. 1615 East 18th Street at the Gym Theater, GEM, at the GEM Theater, Kansas City, Missouri. Doors at 3. Omaha, Nebraska, doors at 3. Norwood, Massachusetts, doors at 5. If you need the flyer, text my phone. This is not on Amazon. This is not on Amazon. I am a self-published author. This is not on Amazon. You have to go to drumarjohnson.com. It's on the website. You cannot order this on Amazon. drumarjohnson.com, or come to one of the events. If you need the flyer, text my phone, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. Let's go to the next parent. Somebody can't follow directions. Let's see who this is.
Hello?
Peace and love, Queen Mother. Why didn't you send me your name and your city like I asked for?
Hi, Dr. Umar.
Peace and love, beautiful. What's your name?
Dominique.
Dominique. How can I help you out, Sister Dominique?
Okay, so I just had a question. It's regarding, it's like a two-part question. It's regarding my daughter's IEP. And I really don't want to go into too many details, but she's currently in foster care right now. So I heard you mention to another parent about having an ADHD diagnosis where, the solution is medication. But seeing that she's not in my custody, I want to know, do they still have that right? Because she do have an ADHD diagnosis, but, I want to know, do they still have that right to medicate her? Because she's not in my custody right now.
Have your parental rights been terminated?
No, I'm in court right now fighting it. It's all BS.